Sungrown's executive order olive oil. One drizzle and the whole table listens. He ain't just running the pizzaverse, he's feeding it. Straight from the president's private stash comes Sungrown's executive order olive oil, cold-pressed, first cut, and slicker than a backroom deal in City Hall. Features: presidential grade, pressed from olives grown under 24/7 protection contracts. Flavor with power, makes any dish taste like a vote in your favor. Cabinet approved, every capo in the room swears by it, or else. Frank Pecoraro, I dipped bread in it and suddenly I was running a casino in Vegas. Admiral Impeach, too smooth. I used it to grease submarine gears and salad greens. Worked perfect both ways. Lopez, confiscated a bottle once. Had to return it. Couldn't stop cooking with it. Special offer. Order now, and Sungrown throws in a presidential breadstick pen. Sign laws, then dip them in the sauce. Sungrown's executive order olive oil. Taste the power, respect the office.
Bugs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
Teamster Torpedoes, Hoffa'S deadliest men. The secret enforcement army that protected and destroyed Jimmy Hoffa's legacy. A Pizzaverse Studios investigative crime documentary. Written by Bambi Palermo, narrated by Vincent Vinny DiPrio. The men who didn't need a badge. Every powerful man in American history had protection. Presidents got the Secret Service, celebrities got security, billionaires got private contractors. Jimmy Hoffa, he had the Teamster Torpedoes blue-collar working men with lunchboxes, cigarette burns, steel-toe boots, and a willingness to break bones to keep the Union engine running. They weren't soldiers. They weren't mobsters, not officially. They were freight haulers, warehouse supervisors, truck loaders, the kind of men nobody suspects until someone winds up in traction, or missing, or buried off a turnpike. If you crossed Hoffa, voted against him, challenged him publicly, talked to the FBI, or interfered with pension deals, you met the Torpedoes. Sometimes once, sometimes permanently. This is the story of Hoffa's deadliest men and how they helped build his empire and bury him. Why Hoffa needed torpedoes. Hoffa believed in loyalty, solidarity, worker dignity, but he also believed in winning. The Teamsters weren't just a union, they were a national power structure worth billions. With that came political rivals, mob pressure, union reformers, whistleblowers, corporate enemies, federal prosecutors, jealous lieutenants. Hoffa didn't trust the cops. He didn't trust the FBI. He damn sure didn't trust politicians. So he built his own enforcement network, men who answered to him and him alone. Who were the Torpedoes? They weren't picked for charm. They were chosen for physical toughness, absolute silence, loyalty over logic, lack of conscience when necessary ability to disappear into a crowd. They looked like truck stop regulars, bowling league dads, union shift supervisors, guys fixing alternators in the driveway. But their resumes included intimidation, extortion, arson, beatings, surveillance, kidnappings, homicides. These weren't hitmen for hire. They were company men, and the company was Hoffa. The structure of the enforcement network. The Torpedoes weren't random thugs. They operated through a hierarchy. 1. Regional Torpedoes. Oversaw multiple locals, kept peace with threats. 2. Local haul, muscle-handled beatings, intimidation, workplace sabotage. 3. Highway torpedoes, accidents on the road, brake cuts, staged crashes. 4. Election torpedoes, made sure the right people voted, and the wrong ones didn't. 5. Pension torpedoes protected mob loans and investments. 6. Courier torpedoes escorted cash, messages, or bodies across state lines. Nobody held a title, nobody filled out HR paperwork, but everybody knew who they were. Their methods: clean, simple, effective. The torpedoes specialized in violence that looked accidental. Highway accidents, car nudged off the road at midnight, case closed. Workplace sabotage, falling pallets, malfunctioning forklifts, crushed limbs. Bar fights, witnesses shrug, drunk guys fight. Message beatings, victim survives, learns silence. Arson union offices, cars, businesses. Sudden disappearances, no body, no report, no problem. Homicide detectives hated the torpedoes because nothing ever looked like a crime. Impeach, the YouTube scumbag bounty hunter. In a land where clowns stream lies and snakes wear sunglasses indoors, one man rides the algorithm alone. They call him Admiral Impeach, the YouTube scumbag bounty hunter. He don't chase fame. He don't chase subs. He hunts down grifters and drags them through the mud till the truth shines clean again. Tony Bum Pizza thought he could run his mouth and ride away free. But out here, words carry weight, and his were heavier than a sack of unpaid bills. Impeach lassoed that loudmouth so fast, even his excuses got rope burn. Then came Chicago Maggot hiding behind live streams and bathroom mirrors, shouting tough while the Wi-Fi lagged. Impeach rode in quiet, like justice on a deadline. And when the smoke cleared, the Maggot was bagged and tagged. But it weren't over. No, sir. 'Cause next came the wild one, the hooker bee from Lombard. Buzzing around with fake tears, glittered lies, and a purse full of problems. Impeach didn't blink. He just tipped his hat and said, "Ma'am, you're about to get deplatformed. So if you're out there lying, scamming, and crying clout on the open net, just remember, there's a cowboy riding through your comments. And when he shows up, it ain't for tea." Impeach, the YouTube scumbag bounty hunter. Coming soon to a live stream near you. The oath that made them dangerous. To join the torpedoes, you didn't swear loyalty to the union, the workers, the pension funds, labor rights. You swore loyalty to Hoffa personally. That meant no questioning orders, no hesitation, no guilt, no talking, no flipping, no retirement from the life. Some were connected to mob families, most weren't. The only qualification was unwavering commitment. The mob connection, friends or hostages. The mafia loved the torpedoes they could. Enforce loans, collect debts, intimidate rival businesses, push mob-backed contracts, protect the Vegas skim. But the relationship wasn't equal. Hoffa controlled the torpedoes, not the mob, and that became a problem, because a man with his own army ain't easy to control. When torpedoes became a liability. After Hoffa went to prison, Frank Fitzsimmons, the mob-approved successor, didn't trust Hoffa loyalists. Neither did Chicago, neither did Detroit, neither did Kansas City. The torpedoes were too loyal, too dangerous, too informed, too willing to fight for Hoffa's return. So what happens to men like that? They start dying, quietly, conveniently, consistently. Some disappeared, some overdosed, some got into one-car accidents, some just evaporated. The cleanup began before Hoffa was even released. July 30th, 1975. Where were the torpedoes? When Hoffa vanished outside the Machis Red Fox restaurant, none of his torpedoes were present. Not one. They weren't warned. They weren't invited. They weren't even told he was negotiating. Why? Because the men who orchestrated his disappearance knew the torpedoes would have died defending him. So they were sidelined on purpose. That detail tells you everything. The aftermath. No heroes, no monuments. Most torpedoes got old, died anonymously, buried without headlines, took secrets to the grave. The FBI tried to flip them for decades. Not one gave up Hoffa'S location. Not one. Imagine loyalty so strong the grave can't break it. Why this story still matters? Because the torpedoes prove unions are powerful labor movements, can be corrupted. Loyalty is a weapon. Organized crime adapts America's infrastructure, hides unsolved crimes. History gets sanitized for comfort. Jimmy Hoffa didn't rise alone. He rose on the shoulders of men who would bleed for him, and many did. The shadow army of the American highway. The torpedoes were never famous. They didn't want to be. They weren't made guys. They weren't legends. They were ordinary men who became extraordinary weapons because one man believed in them. Their names ain't in textbooks, but their fingerprints are all over American labor history. And somewhere out there, off an interstate, behind a truck stop, beneath a Union Hall parking lot, their unfinished stories are buried. This has been another Pizzaverse Studios educational mob documentary, written by the incomparable Bambi Palermo, narrated by yours truly, Vincent DiPrio, the consigliere who tells it like it freaking is. If this opened your eyes, if you learned something new, if it made you rethink labor history, do the honorable thing. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Comment for the algorithm capos. Share it with someone who still thinks Hoffa'S under Giant Stadium. Next episode in the series, coming soon, the Reefer Reapers, cold trucks, cold bodies, cold justice. How refrigerated trailers became the mafia's favorite morgues. Because in the Pizzaverse, we don't repeat stories. We reveal the ones nobody had the guts to tell.